David Goggins. Not only did he inspire me to start running again, and this time take it seriously, he also inspired me to push beyond my limits, to do things that I had no idea I was capable of. He challenged me to push through the pain, the suffering, everything that sucks. Just keep pushing forward. And specifically, I mean with running. I started running a year ago, and literally on the very first day, I overdid it so much, I already injured myself. And it was a pretty bad injury. I mean, eventually, maybe like 6-7 months later, I found out what actually happened. There was so much like blood or whatever. It was pumping through. Basically, my legs were just swollen up from the inside, and it was pushing my shin, the bone. And it was the most excruciating pain I've ever felt. And I just kept walking and running, because that's how I did it. I would walk 10,000 steps, and then immediately after I would just start running 10,000 steps. And it took me 3.5 hours to complete these two exercises, and I did that every single day. And before that, I was doing walking every day for a year. But my point is, I just kept pushing through with the pain for about 3.5 weeks. And it got so bad, the doctor told me to just stop running completely. And I didn't want to, but eventually I did for about 2.5 weeks, and I just got back into it. And it got so bad that I just couldn't take the pain anymore. And eventually, maybe like 8-9 months later, mind you, I was running with that excruciating pain every day. I would run 6 to 10 kilometers on a normal day, non-stop. I would run half marathons with that pain, because I would just remind myself that of the crazy stories of David Goggins, And so he inspired me to just push through my limits, far through my limits. And I am nowhere near my potential. That's the crazy part. A year ago, if you would have told me that I would run 3 half marathons non-stop, like week after week, I would have told you to piss off, you're crazy. When I started running, I couldn't even run longer than 30 seconds, and I would collapse to the ground, into the mud, the dirt, And I'm fat. I'm 260 pounds. I was 340 pounds, so I've already lost a bunch of weight just by pushing through my limits and eating better. But my point is, David Goggins literally changed my mentality, I was the one that changed it, but he was the one that started this journey inside my head. I would just, whenever I would want to stop, I would just remind myself, David Goggins is a bad motherfucker, And so if he did that, then I can do this. And I did, and every time I just did it, And I don't know why, but when I was running right now, I was talking to myself, because I often just do that. I just talk to myself like I'm crazy. And I was like, I want to challenge David Goggins. So honestly, as crazy as it sounds, and I'm nowhere near as bad as he is, you know what I mean? Like, he is so disciplined, and his mind is so calloused and disciplined, as he says, I just want to challenge him to like a runoff. Whoever stops last wins. And honestly, the only reason I want to do this is to just see, to really see how far I'm willing to push myself. The longest I've run non-stop was 2 hours and 45 minutes. It's not that crazy, but I mean, I think it's like pretty decent. And so even if well, not if, statistically speaking, I'll probably most likely lose. But in my head, there's also a voice telling me that I could beat him. That I'm just gonna run until I either die, pass out, or my legs give out. I always train on an empty stomach. I never bring water or anything with myself.